Here we go. All right. Jenny, I think we're good to go.
Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Mentors for College webinar. Our May topic is making the most of your high school summers. And so we're happy to have you here with us tonight. Hopefully we will give you some good tips for how you can have a productive summer, regardless of what year you are in high school. Please remember that this webinar is being recorded and that if you have questions throughout the evening, please submit them through the question and answer button, and we will answer those at the end of the presentation. And so before we get started with our topic tonight, I do want to just call to your attention the Mentors for College organization. We are a nonprofit organization, and we provide one-to-one mentoring for students and parents as you are going through the college search and application process. We have rigorously trained volunteer mentors who work one-to-one with students and families as often or as infrequently, whatever you need. We will help you with your plan. We help with planning for post-high school education of all different kinds. And through this process, we help students align their high school courses and activities with your post-high school education plans. Our goal is for you to come up with a list of schools and that ultimately you will make a selection and find a good fit for yourself for post-high school education. We help with students as they are going through the essay process and the application process. And so we can help guide and edit and give advice on essays and applications. We also do our best to help students understand the financial aid process and scholarships and all the terminology related to that. We offer monthly webinars and more in-depth workshops and always include remind text messages to students so that they can remember what they should be doing depending on what grade level you are. And so the best part of all of this is it's completely free. So if you think you would like to work with a mentor, go to the mentorsforcollege.org website and choose the button that says join or donate, and you can fill out a form and request to work with a mentor. There's a lot of resources on our website. So if you decide that to go to the website, be sure to check out the resources button. And actually, I'm going to be talking a lot about that tonight. So here we go with our presentation. What to do with your summer? This is a question that many students ask themselves. And my focus, I'm a retired high school principal, and the students in my high school knew well that I always said, you have to set goals for yourself, set SMART goals, and make a good plan. And so that's exactly what our advice is to all of you, regardless of what grade level you are, whether you're a 9th grader going into 10th, or 10th going into 11th, or 11th going into senior. It's important to think about how should you prioritize your time and energy during the summertime. And so we encourage you to talk with your parents, your counselor, maybe a Mentors for College mentor or another mentor to decide what are your top priorities for the summer. What is most important for you right now? And that might be different for each person. And so some questions to ask yourself. Do you need to work on academics, maybe in preparation for the next school year or as enrichment programs or in preparation for an upcoming ACT exam? Do you want to spend time volunteering? Do you need to earn money, or are you interested in getting an internship? Do you need to explore careers and begin to do research and explore college options? Do you need to get ahead on applications? And so it might be that you need to focus on one of these or several of these, depending on where you are in your grade level and where you are in your college planning process. So what to do with your summer? An important thing is to know your opportunities. You have a lot of opportunities available to you. And so whether you are interested in some of these things for this coming summer, or whether you're thinking, okay, I'm only going to be a 9th grader this year, and so this would be good for me to look at doing after my 10th grade year or after my 11th grade year. Hopefully, as you see all of these options and opportunities, it will help you realize that there really are a lot of possibilities for you to have a productive summer. And so, again, all of those things, we're going to touch on all of these things, but you can see that from our perspective, we think that there is value in every year doing some of this. And so figuring out what you need to spend your time on is really important. As I said, on the Mentors for College website, we have a resources tab. And so we have information on our website to get you started with looking at options for volunteering, for summer programs, and for college and career information. And so please understand that the information and the links that we have posted are interesting places and opportunities for you, but it should only be the beginning of your research. This is to get you started in researching what might be some volunteer opportunities for you, what might be some summer programs and summer opportunities for you to do. And so I highly encourage you to go to the Mentors for College website, look on all of our resources, and it will spark your interest in what might be things that you should be doing or could be doing. So one of the things is earning money. Maybe you want to get a job, you need to get a job. And so getting a job in a retail or restaurant job in your area is really a good thing. And there are lots of opportunities for jobs this summer particularly. And the reason a job is important, aside from earning money, is that it does show commitment and responsibility and that you can work with others. And eventually, if you stay in the same job or you have jobs over the course of your high school career, it can show your potential leadership. And so that's an important thing for you to consider. Maybe you get a job that's related to your career interest. If you are interested in working with animals or biology, then look at pet stores, look at veterinary clinics, look at different things that might be related to the St. Louis Zoo, look at different things that might be related to your career interest. Maybe you are interested in starting a business that's related to a career interest or maybe just a creative outlet. I have a mentee who is a very good pianist, and so she offers piano lessons to younger students in her home. And so maybe that is something that you could do, or maybe it's starting a lawn mowing business or starting some other kind of a business that is either of interest to you or just a creative outlet for you. And don't forget that working at summer camps is a really good thing. You might have attended summer camps as a younger student. And so look at getting a job, either summer camps through the YMCA or summer camps that are farther away from where you live. But all of these are legitimate possibilities for you as a high school student if earning money, getting a job, getting some experience that way is a priority. Maybe you want to spend some time volunteering. And as I said at the beginning, you might do several of these things. And so that's important to look at. How much time do you spend on each of them? So if you're interested in volunteering, search local and national agencies, maybe some colleges, maybe some hospitals, maybe libraries. There are lots of different ways that you can volunteer. And actually, you can do a lot of virtual volunteering as well. With the pandemic shutdown, virtual volunteering became a more common than we had ever known before. And so there are lots of opportunities for kids to get involved through virtual volunteering. And again, think about your summer camps. Maybe you could volunteer as a camp counselor for 1 week or for a few days or for a significant time during the summer. That's also, all of these things help develop your interests and help develop your resume, so that when you are looking at colleges and colleges are looking at you, you have a variety of things. I will say that the admissions reps that we hear from in our presentations are very aware that the pandemic has changed a lot of what students have opportunities to do during the school year and during the summertime. So don't be worried about, I have to use every minute of every day of the summertime in order to be productive. That's not my point here. My point is to make sure that you are doing what is important for you in order to keep moving forward in your post-high school planning process. So on our website, we do have a few links for specifically for volunteering. And so I would encourage you to go to the resources tab and look specifically at volunteering to see if any of those things might be of interest to you. Additionally, maybe you need to spend some time or want to spend some time on academic enrichment and additional education. And so it might be as easy as enrolling in summer school classes at your high school. Maybe there are some high school classes that can't fit into your regular schedule and you can take them during summer school. Maybe you need to spend some time doing free online test prep for ACT or SAT exams. Maybe you could take an online academic enrichment class, and that's offered through a college or through an online program at your high school. I would encourage you also to explore on-campus and virtual college programs for high school students. You can search for these things on college websites. You can do a Google search for your areas of interest. As I said, we do have some of these listed on our website under summer programs. And so you might check that out to get yourself sparked in thinking about what are some of the possibilities. Maybe it's something specific in STEM. Maybe it's something specific in fine arts or creative writing. There are all kinds of options. And so I would encourage you to look at what are the possibilities. Maybe it would be good for you to spend some time narrowing down your career goals. If you have the opportunity, shadow someone in a career field of your interest. Doesn't mean you have to shadow them all summer long, but even if you go for a morning or an afternoon or one day, a couple of days, that would be a really good option. And actually, now that there are still a significant number of people who are working from home, it might be easy for you to go to a neighbor's house or go to a friend of one of your parents or relatives to just observe, how is this person doing their job in this work from home setting? So I would encourage you to reach out and think about what are ways that you could shadow somebody. Maybe you could apply for on-campus or virtual research programs at colleges. These do have deadlines, and so for this summer, it might be past the deadlines, but especially if you're a 9th grader or a 10th grader, keep this in mind for future summers. And I say this because it's important for you to think about this in high school and learn how to do some of this research in high school, because it will be important and valuable for you to be productive, have productive summers during your college time too. You will want to be looking at academic programs and internships and job shadowing opportunities. And so it's good to get into the habit of doing research about what are your options now at high school so that you know how to do that when you're in college. I would encourage you to think about applying for an internship. We have some possible links posted on our website. And so maybe there's something that would be interesting to you and would help you know if this is a career field that you want to continue to work towards or that you are interested in learning more about. Sometimes internships or jobs also help teach us that it's not something that we want to do. And so there's value in that as well. Maybe you need to spend some time researching potential careers. And so these are 3 websites that I would highly recommend. My Next Move is a website that a lot of high school students or high schools in the state of Missouri use. It is based on questionnaires and helps students think through their career interests, their likes and dislikes about school, and things that they are good at, and then helps them think about what kind of educational path they might do, so that you can see how are your likes and dislikes, your strengths matched to potential careers. Invest in What's Next is a website that is produced by the San Francisco Federal Reserve Bank. And it helps students think not only about career paths, but the financial implications of those. And what kind of a lifestyle do you want to have even as after college? And so that is a really interesting website to use. And they have some little seminars and things that you can, questions you can answer, and information that they share to get you thinking really long-term about life after college even. And then the Occupational Outlook Handbook is one that I recommend to lots and lots of students. If you are interested in a career field, you can put that in and search for that. You can look at a particular position within a career and find out information about that. It will tell you maybe the average or median pay scale, how much of a need there will be for that job in the next 10 years. It can also tell you how much education is needed to complete that job. There's also a section on there that tells what a common day of work is like, or what they really do. And the other thing I like about the Occupational Outlook Handbook is that if you're looking at one career, there's an option to click on a button that says similar careers. And so then you get another whole page of potential careers. So you can really spend some time thinking about what are careers that I have heard of, but then maybe you'll find careers that you, or positions that you had never even heard of before. So if researching and thinking about careers is something that you want to spend time on, I highly recommend these 3 websites. Maybe you want to explore and research your college options. That certainly is a very worthwhile use of your time during the summer, whether you are a student going from 9th to 10th, 10th to 11th, or 11th to 12th. And so there are things that you can do regardless of what grade you are. And I would recommend that you pick a couple of these and think about how can you spend some time doing this summer. Take a self-guided campus walkthrough at colleges that are near you or whenever you're traveling. This is a way for you to get familiar with a lot of different kinds of campuses, just so that you can begin to get a feel for what you like. Do you like urban? Do you like suburban? Do you like big campuses? Do you like small campuses? This will help you begin to get a good feel if you just do walkthroughs. Maybe you're ready to schedule some guided campus tours. And certainly many campuses are offering that option this summer now that things have opened up again. And so maybe you want to schedule a couple of guided tours with current students or admissions reps on college campuses. Be sure to take virtual tours of colleges. You can find this information on college websites, and almost every college website has an option for a virtual tour. Maybe you want to sign up for virtual sharing sessions with current college students, or with the admissions reps at colleges, or maybe with some professors at the colleges. Again, this information you can find on the websites. Use books and search engines to learn about colleges. And so sometimes people get tired of doing things on the web. And so go to the library, go to a bookstore, and look at some college search books and find out about colleges that way. I would encourage you to sign up for virtual college fairs. Sometimes some of these are offered this summer and into the fall. And also you can look at recorded sessions that were offered in previous months. But I would encourage you to take a look at a couple of participate in a couple of virtual college fairs. Be sure to spend some time to research non-traditional colleges. Most of us are very familiar with a traditional four-year college degree program, but there are lots of options for non-traditional colleges, and maybe a non-traditional college is right for you. Maybe you don't even know that there are these options out there. And so taking the time to do some research during summer is a good idea. And spend some time. I'm going to show a questionnaire that we use with our mentees to spend some time to reflect and consider what kind of college is a good fit for you. There are some questions that we encourage you to think about as you are just discovering and in the early stages of thinking about what might be a good fit. So, how to find colleges. If you are a student who has access to SCORE or Naviance in your high school, then I certainly would start there and use those as search engines to look for colleges. You also can use College Greenlight, College Navigator, College Raptor. There are lots of other resources, lots of other search engines that you can use. And again, here is a website that has a variety of virtual tours of college campuses that might be of interest to you. Visiting college campuses is another way to find out about colleges. And so you can do virtual visits or in-person visits. You can do one-to-one virtual meetings with admissions reps, virtual tours, question and answers with students. You can get a lot of information from college websites. Also, I would recommend that you begin to follow on Instagram or Twitter or whatever other social media accounts you might use. I would encourage you to follow those colleges on Instagram or Twitter, so that you can begin to see what is information that they share and post and keep abreast of information from the colleges that way. Also, virtual college fairs. I talked a little bit about this, but you can look at these particular websites. Star Missouri is one that has regional, sponsored by the Star Missouri program, and they have regional admissions reps from colleges in states that border Missouri as well as in Missouri. And so that's a very good resource for students if you're looking at what are colleges that are within driving distance of Missouri. And then the StriveScan virtual college fair has college fairs scheduling coming up and also recordings that you can look at. Okay, here's a little information about non-traditional or alternative colleges. So these all have a non-traditional school focus or structure. And so some colleges have unusual course schedules. They don't follow a semester program. And so that might be something that would be interesting and valuable to you. Some of them have completely customizable degrees. And so as a student, you create your own degree. Some of them are full-time work study programs connected to the college. Some of them have co-op programs where they do some study and some paid work programs. Some are multi-college collaborations. For example, at Washington University, they do a combination liberal arts and engineering dual degree program. And so that's a kind of an unusual, non-traditional focus. Some of them have a very focused concentration. And so they're almost considered like a tech school. So Rose-Hulman is one of those in engineering, and St. John's does their curriculum on all the great books programs. And then the other thing to keep in mind is that maybe you want to look at seminaries and faith-based schools. So all of these are what we consider non-traditional or alternative colleges. And if you haven't thought about it, it might be something to spend some time researching about. Here's another chart that shows some of those attributes, some specific colleges that you might look at, or if you are interested in applying learning to help students be more motivated, or students design their own major, you could Google colleges where students design their own major and see how many of these colleges come up on the list and how many additional colleges come on the list. So you can do your own searches by college name, or you can do searches by the attributes. But either way, valuable time spent on just looking at what are different options besides the traditional options. This is a questionnaire that I use with my mentees, most of us use with our mentees, and it just gets kids thinking about different aspects of college that they might be needing to think about. So that you can discover what are the things that you think you would like. And so one example, do you prefer to sit quietly in class and let the lecture wash over you, or analyze it later and jump in and participate? So do you need a big school or a small school? Do you like a big city, or do you want a small town? So those are different things for you to think about. Are you okay with a commuter college? So are you interested in some place where people mostly drive back and forth rather than live on campus? Do you want to be close? Do you want to be close to home? Do you want to be a long way? Or are you close enough to get home occasionally, but far enough to be away on your own? So that's a good thing for you to think about and talk about with your parents. Do you need a nurturing learning environment like Maryville, Bradley, Murray State with special accommodations for learning or emotional disabilities? Or are you okay swimming on your own in a big pond? So you can ask yourself some of these questions and get started thinking about it. And maybe there are names of colleges on here that you have never heard of. I would encourage you to take a look at those websites and just see what is that college like, and what are the things that might be something that I would be interested in looking more at, in doing more research about that particular college. So for those of you who are members of the class of 2022, and this is the summer before your senior year, here are some pieces of advice that I for sure would make sure you do. Get organized with admissions, scholarship, and financial aid deadlines. Make sure that you know when they are, what you need to do so that you don't miss out on anything. Make sure that you file and organize any college-related email messages. As you are applying and doing more searches for colleges, you will become overwhelmed with email messages, and it's really important that you stay organized with all of that. Ask teachers for letters of recommendation. Make sure that they know what your deadlines are in the fall, and so they have plenty of time to write the letters. Complete your personal essay. Mentors for College has an online essay course to guide you, and we have a mentor who is an English teacher who created the workshop, and he offers to give feedback to students as they are doing the drafts of their essay. So I highly encourage you to do that this summer so that you can get that out of the way. Create a Common App account and start filling in sections of the application, and make sure to register for the Mentors for College webinar in July to get tips for completing the Common App. This is something that you want to get started on so that you aren't bogged down as you are starting your senior year. It's a busy enough time anyway, so use your summer productively. Oops. Okay. So as I said, our upcoming Mentors for College webinar, July 8th, for rising seniors, tips for completing your Common App. At this time, that's the end of my presentation about making the most of your summer. And so I will spend a little bit of time answering some questions that maybe have come through, and see if I can answer them. If I can't answer them, I will do my best to refer you to maybe some places on the website where you could get answers. So one of the questions is, are there special suggestions for 15-year-olds who want a job? Okay, so this is a good question. There are some places that hire students or hire young people younger than 16. And so I would check with your high school. You likely have to get a worker permit, and they will give you a worker permit and sign off that it is okay for you to have a job. And so I would say check with employers and see what their age cutoff is, and then see if they need a worker permit for you to submit a worker permit, and you can get that usually from your high school. Okay, another question that came through. Are there any special suggestions for students interested in very competitive schools like WashU? I would say that for any competitive school, the looking at you from a holistic perspective is what the admissions reps are doing. And they will tell you, they will be very honest with you. I wouldn't say that there is any one thing or another that you should do if you're looking at any competitive schools, but I do think that it's important for competitive and selective schools to know that you're interested in them. And so WashU does offer some summer programs for 9th and 10th graders, as well as 11th and 12th graders. Some of those deadlines may have already passed for this summer, but I would encourage you to look at those, see what the options are so that you are prepared for future summers. I think that demonstrating that you are interested in academic enrichment and that you are interested in bettering the community and doing what you can to, make the world a better place. I think that those are things that they are looking at. But at the same time, admissions reps have said to us, we understand that times are different in the pandemic. And so don't be worried if you don't have access to all of the things that you might have had access or people in previous graduating classes had access to. So I think that it would be an important thing to think about spending your summer in a productive way, but I don't think that there's any specific thing that I can say, do this or do that for WashU or any of the other selective universities. But do look at their university websites to see what kinds of things they offer, because they do track your interest in their school. Another question that came through is special suggestions for shadowing for students interested in medical school. Again, I think reaching out to people in the medical field would be a good way to do this. And there are some ideas on our website. I think that right now, hospitals and clinics are probably not as open to job shadowing or that sort of thing as they previously were, but there still might be options for you. And maybe you have to think out of the box and not just think about hospitals and clinics. Maybe there are other ways that you can, maybe some science alternatives or some STEM related alternatives that would be good for you to pursue. So those, I think, are all of the questions, and I'm looking at the time and we are about to the end of our time. I do want to just say again that on July 8th, the webinar is obviously a good thing for rising seniors, but any students might be interested in attending that webinar because it's good for you to know and understand what are all of the different sections on the Common App so that you can be preparing that as you are thinking about your college planning process. All right. Just as a quick reminder, if you need help with any of these things, Mentors for College is a completely free resource. We are eager and ready to help you whatever way we can. If you want to sign up for a mentor, to work with a mentor, go to our website and click on the join button and then fill out the form, and we will get you matched with a mentor just as soon as we can. Thanks for being here tonight, and let us know how we can help you.